Good?
Good to go. Thanks.
Well, guys, as always, appreciate you guys being here. And just like I talked about after the game, man, thank you, Jesus, for an opportunity to coach this team, man. It doesn't mean things are always going to go the way you want them to. But I love this team, and I'm so thankful to be a part of an amazing organization and an amazing group of staff members and players that I know are going to continue to work to fix what happened on Thursday night. I mean, and the reality of it is, guys, us growing from week 1 to week 2 is everything. And I told our team yesterday, what does Boise State, Alabama, Texas, Kansas State, Notre Dame all have in common? Go ahead, guys. You guys can answer.
Ranked teams lost.
Ranked teams lost, right? Also, what we all have in common is we have everything in front of us still, right? We played one game. Still have everything in front of us, everything to play for. And I'm not talking about championships and CFP. You guys know me. If we won this game, I still wouldn't talk about that, right? It is all about going 1-0 and being our best, right? That is us learning and growing from week 1. Trust me, you got to be able to learn from wins, but we got to learn from a loss and we did not play our best, not even close, and we're going to talk about that more. And I was thinking about it a lot, even after the game on Friday, obviously watched the film a bunch of times, had really good meetings with our staff, and I remember growing up, and a lot of you guys know my brother Ethan, he's a fireman in town, and growing up, with brothers or with a brother, we fight a lot. Right, especially as a little kid, you fight a lot. My mom used to just put us in the backyard and say, go at it. But there's always this unwritten rule, like you can't punch each other in the mouth, right? That was like, we might, kind of wrestle and push around, but you're never going to punch someone in the mouth. And then one day, Ethan grabbed a tennis racket and hit me in the face. And at that moment, everything changed, right? I got punched in the mouth. I had bloody lip. I had to learn from, so now, the next time we started fighting, I had to grab a stick. Like, I had to be ready for that, and I had to learn from that. I had to learn from that pain, right? And I talked to our team and staff about not flinching. It's easier to not flinch when you've never been hit. If you've never been hit, someone could come up and fake punch you and everything. You're not going to move because you don't know what that pain feels like. Our team hasn't been through what we went through on Thursday night in a long time. We had some losses, but not like that. We got our butts kicked on Thursday night. And now it's our job to not flinch because we learn from it. We know what getting punched in the mouth feels like now. Our jaw got to get stronger. We got to be able to respond better. And I can go down a long list of things we got to learn from because we went through that adversity. And the next time we show up to a fight, we better be ready to fight. And we better be ready to take a punch, and we better be able to give one. And we did not do that on Thursday. What does that mean correlated to football? Our mentality and our effort was nowhere near the standard it needs to be at Boise State, and I take absolutely full responsibility for that in all 3 phases. And that is something we are actively working to get fixed. Should not have shown up on Thursday night, and it did. And as a coach, it is not on those players. It is on me to make sure that standard's clear. And if a player can't do that consistently, they're not going to play her. And if we're going to be selfish at positions and care about me, and not about the team, they're not going to play her. This is a team that is about the team. And we got a great group of leaders that care about this team. And the funny part, how it usually works, the guys that care about the team usually get all the individual success too. It's funny how that works. And that's where we're at as a team. And at the end of the day, when you look at football, if you lose the turnover margin, which we did, they had 3, we had 0, or they were +3, we were 0, and you lose the explosive play battle, which wasn't even close, you lose 99% of the time. That is football. You can look at all stats. Red zone touchdowns, yes, they matter. Third downs matter. Fourth downs matter. But if you just look at those 2 stats, you lose those football games. And we lost that. And obviously, I think questions that came up after the game, turnovers, tackling, some special team issues. Yes, there's things that we struggled with last season. We maybe were able to win games while still maybe not handling those situations the right way. It showed up again. So as a coach, we are problem solvers. I'm not going to sit in front of our team or our staff and talk about the problem. We are problem solvers. We are figuring out what's next and how we can grow and improve, and that's what we're going to do. And just like anything, you look at that game, and every game is this way. A couple plays go differently, we're having a completely different conversation right now. But it didn't. We got punched in the mouth, and we better be ready for the fight the next time it shows up. And I promise our team, our staff, I promise Bronco Nation, our team will be ready because of what we learned from on Thursday night. So I'm proud of the conversations we were able to have as a staff. Really like the practice we had today. And we got to continue to stack those. We're going to find out the 11 guys on offense, defense, SWAT, special teams, as we call it, that can uphold the standard and play with a level of effort and a level of mentality that we need to from snap one to the end of the game. So as painful as it is, as much as it hurts my heart, the product that's on the field, because it is me, and that represents our state, our city, Bronco Nation, we will be better for it. And like I said, it is game one. There's so much to learn from, and we still have everything in front of us. Not talking end of season goals. I'm talking about us being our best day in and day out and playing Eastern Washington at home on the blue with a great opponent. It's all about our process this week. That's what I told the team. I don't care if we're playing Eastern Washington, Air Force, App State, Notre Dame, the New England Patriots roll in. It is about our process this week, players and staff being their best, and we're going to try and stack week, and then we'll see where we're at the end of the season. So excited for the opponent we got coming to the blue on Thursday night. Can't wait to be in front of Bronco Nation. I'm sure it's going to be a sellout. I'm really proud of what our administration, JD, Cody, everyone's been able to do with ticket sales. I mean, we have the most, I think, season tickets we've had in a long time. That's shout out to Bronco Nation, and I'm excited with the product we're going to put on the field.
Spencer, I think one thing we've known about you ever since you took over is the guys really like to play for you, really want to play for you. You mentioned maybe effort there wasn't up to par. As a player's coach that understands the value of a second chance, how do you walk the fine line between that and also, emphasizing it's a right to be one of the 11 guys on the field at any given time?
Yeah, I think just like anything for me, Jay, everything is a balance. And what I mean by that is the reason I coach, and I'm very open about this, is to develop young men where they are to being the best version of themselves, right? Being champions in life. Now, how they play this game, you earn every right to play on that field, right? And if you don't earn it, you're not going to play. I don't care how talented you are. And I think, and as a staff, starting with me, there's some guys that we lost that with going into this game. And I think just like anything, there's a lot of pats on the back going to this game. And as a coach, I try to be very in front about it. Hey, top 25, all this doesn't matter. But it showed up. It showed up. And it says in the Bible, pride comes before a huge fall. Obviously, some pride creeped in. I'm talking with me, I didn't think that going to the game, but we are judged on what happens on that field. You can't erase plays. That is your team. That is who you are. You can't run from it. And so us going forward is if someone doesn't play the way we need them to from an effort and mentality standpoint, they can't play. And will they be given second chances? I think everything's a balance. Everything's a balance. I always want to give every young man an opportunity to grow, to be the best version of himself. But if they fight that standard, there's a lot of places that play that'll be okay with that. Not here. And that's on me for letting that slip.
Along those lines, how do you weigh when a guy gets like a personal foul penalty, sitting in for a play or two? I know a lot of fans are wondering why Banks didn't sit after that. Yeah,
and I'll be honest with you, BJ, I take full responsibility for that. In the moment, I didn't get who it was. I didn't know the jersey number when it happened. I'll be honest with you. And we should have started with me, seeing that, and he should not have played the next snap. And I told our team that. We ran for that yesterday, the 2 personal fouls we got in the game, his and Amarion's, and that is absolutely unacceptable. Not only was it a huge play in the game, I don't care if we're up by 50 and that happens. That is not what we do here, and he should not have played the next snap. And that's on me, and that will not happen again.
I know him and Nicky was supposed to be a pretty close battle. I think he only got 1 snap in the game.
Yeah, Jaden Nicky's going to compete this week to play more. And up into that game, Devon Banks did some good stuff in practice. Obviously, by no means perfect, but did some good stuff in practice. But in the game, there were some plays that he didn't do what we needed him to do. And it's not just Devon Banks. I want to make sure I'm very clear. There are a lot of players on our team that maybe people don't see from the TV, but there's a lot of plays on film that were not the standard in regards to our effort and mentality. I know the play that everybody sees. There's a lot more on that tape than just that one play. And so I'm excited to get it fixed. And at the end of the day, I take full responsibility for letting that happen because obviously at some point, what you allow is your culture. As the head coach, I've obviously allowed that to be okay, and I'm making it very clear now that it's not, and we got to be better in the future.
X's and O's, those kind of deficiencies are going to happen in a game to everybody, but I think the effort caught a lot of us by surprise, and probably you. Why do you think it happened?
It's a good question, Mike. I think right now, looking at that, and I really do, and I've talked to a lot of coaches I respect, not even in this building, that that are mentors to me to talk through things and learn from, because I honestly really believe in fall camp, our guys, we worked. This from a reps to intensity to we worked harder than we have in a long time in fall camp. Maybe overdid it, to be honest with you. And because at the end of the day, I can't run from the product that was on that field. That is, I take full responsibility. I'm not running from it. And as I think as a leader, the two things you can't do, you can't make little of something like, oh, it's a fluke, we'll be fine. But you also shouldn't overcorrect to where the world's ending. So I want to find that balance, Mike. And obviously, it wasn't. We didn't have a lot of joy on the sideline. That's a big deal for me. You have to have fun playing. We scored the first touchdown. We're up 7-0, and it still felt kind of dead, kind of off. Something I got to figure out why. Like, was it pressure? Was it trying to fulfill expectations? Was it too focused on me and not about the team? I'm looking at a lot of those things. Were we in practice too on maybe details and miss some of the joy of playing this game and cutting it loose and playing with your teammates? So just like anything, it's a balance and looking at it holistically, Mike, to make sure next year's game one is different. It has to be, right? We can't put that product on the field, especially at any game, but especially coming off an off season. And so looking at it and take full responsibility and really doing a lot of looking at all things from the operation to practice to maybe some things were overdone. And that's on me.
Just with game ones, obviously schedules made years ago, but there's been a lot of talk of, going on the road, Florida, it's hot, tough game, as opposed to maybe a bit easier, home game, fine-tune things a little bit. Where do you stand on balancing that?
Yeah, I mean, first off, let me be very clear. That game being played in Tampa had absolutely zero to do with us getting our butts kicked. We could have played that game down the road, and it would have been 34-7 if we played the way we did, right? It had nothing. I think our trainers, our nutrition, our weight, did a great job. Operation, the flights was on point. The hotel was on point. I think we had maybe one guy cramping the game. So all that was irrelevant. We didn't play well, and that's on me. It would be easier for me to sit up here and be like, the weather and the travel, that had nothing to do with how our team played. Now, is it easier to play game one at home? Absolutely, right? But we have to go on the road and win those games. If we play in freaking Tampa or we play in Ireland, we got to find a way to win those games at Boise State, period, end of story.
When you bring up the effort to the players, what's their response? Do they seem pretty receptive to, saying, yeah.
We'll find out Friday night, honestly. I mean, we'll find out Friday night because I'm proud of how our guys practiced today, but in this game, everything you get is earned, and we'll find out Friday night.
I know that you want to bear the burden of it, but just kind of along those lines, I bring up last season, hear me out. I'm not bringing up 2601, rushing any of that, but I think your collection of captains on that team, Tubes, Ash, Ahmed, three of the guys, since I've been covering, are probably at the front of the line of the dudes you want to go to war with. So how much does this have to be player-led also?
Oh, yeah. If it's just me or our staff, we don't got a shot. We don't got a shot. I believe in the leadership of this team. Obviously, there's some leaders on our team that, A, didn't play well, and B, had a lack of mentality in this game and honestly got broke. That happened. It's our job now to learn and grow from it. Were there leaders on our team last year that wouldn't have? Yeah, absolutely. I could second guess that all the time, but every year is a new year. Every year is a new team, and I'm so thankful for the guys that were here on this team last year. This is our team, and we do have great leaders on this team that I believe in, and they need to step up. And the guys that honestly, we talked before the game, mental toughness is what does it take to break you, right? We talked about that the week before the game. What does it take to break you? And we found out the breaking point of a lot of our players. And that is on me as a coach to make sure that breaking point gets pushed or they can't play here. And we're going to play with the kid less talented, but he is going to do what he's supposed to do with a high level of effort. That is what we are going to do here. And I want to make sure our players understand that. And people in the media or people might not like it. I'm going to lead this team the way I feel called to. That's going to be about developing young men, and the product that we put on that field is going to be guys that are.
With the running game, I know you said going in was going to be similar carries, which it was, but did the Sire games need more than 9 carries moving forward? Or?
Yeah, the run game was not even close to our standard, BJ, and we're talking about effort and mentality because that's really at the end of the day why this game went the way it was. Right? It's a 10-7 ball game with 5 minutes left in the third, and we still hadn't played even close to our best football. And then bad play, don't respond to a and it just spirals on us, right? Which that happens when you're not playing as a team. when you look at some schematics, there's a lot of stuff that I'm excited that we can improve on, but a lot of it starts with just our effort, our fundamentals. We are a run-first football team. End of story. That is what we are built for. That is what we recruit for, and we got to stay true to that. And we lost some of that in this game. We are a run-first football team. We will play action second, and we will drop back third. That is who we are, and that's what we're going to be built to do.
Yeah, I think 3 running backs got to carry on the first drive. And I know you want to get different guys in there, but do you need to maybe go a little more towards one guy? Or
yeah, we're going to look at it, BJ. That's a good question. I think right now we're looking at what do our players do best. And what does those numbers look like? Who's earned that? Because, yes, we want to make sure we share that. We have playmakers when they're doing what they're supposed to do. But we got to figure out what fits our players best and make sure we stay there. And I know we can. And there's a lot of plays on film that which is every game, but that a block here, that runs look a lot different. A protection here, a better throw here. That's football, right? But we've got the right playmakers. We have the right guys, but we need guys that are not selfish, that are all about the team, and then us as coaches got to make sure we're putting them in the right spots.
Was Hall Schmidt game?
To get into the game when they're getting 1 or 2 carries and somebody coming out as opposed to if they got 5 in a row?
Yeah, but I think just like anything, we're looking at all of it. We want to keep our guys fresh. I believe in the running backs we have, but as game 1, you learn a lot as a staff. And right now I think we got a really good idea. And we'll even have a better idea after game 2, game 3, right, as the season goes. But we're going to find out more who we want to rely on in the run game, pass game. Defensively, we try to rotate a lot of guys. We're going to rotate even more on the back end to make sure the effort is much improved and that gets earned. But we're going to make sure we find the right guys and what that looks like.
Was Hall Schmidt a game time decision, or what was his availability for last week, and what's his? What can you say about his status for this week?
Yeah, so Hall's ready to roll. So he's back. He battled his tail off to get back in fall camp. Wasn't able to go through a lot of fall camp, just coming back from the injury. But he's full go and ready to roll this week, and we'll have a lot of competition at right tackle.
Did you notice a snowball effect?
I did.
Miscues, or were they separately?
Yeah, football is a game of momentum. Period. Momentum is created from execution, right? You can start to feel a game no different. Johnny, when you watch a game either on TV or even live, you can see momentum starting to happen. And then if it gets flipped, it's because of an execution, right? An offense is moving the ball, they got the momentum, and then it's a TFL or a sack or an interception, and then all of a sudden the momentum is back to the other side. We didn't execute to get the momentum back, right? Obviously the fake punt, which is 100% on me, how we handled it, all that will get fixed. Huge play in the game. That's a 14-point swing probably. Not only are you not getting the ball back, down 3, they go up 17-7, right? Now, it's still 17-7. We never executed to get ourselves out of it. Then we miss a 4th down. We just could never be consistent enough in how we executed, and that's something that we're looking at to make sure we put our guys in efficient spots. We got to be more efficient on 1st down as an offense. We played way too many 3rd and longs because we weren't efficient on 1st down. Defensively, critical 3rd downs hurt us, right? The first drive of the game or second drive of the game is 3rd and 17. Got to get off the field in 3rd and 17. We get off the field in 3rd and 17, we're already up 7-0. This thing, you know what I mean? And we could second guess that all day. We lost 34-7. We got our butts kicked, period, end of story. But there's a lot of things on that tape that created a snowball effect, Johnny, because of a lack of execution.
With Chris Marshall, obviously waited for him to see what he could do. That drive near the end of the first quarter, made a couple of big plays for you guys, and then didn't see much of them the rest of the way. How encouraging were the plays that he made, and then what kind of happened from there on out with him? Yeah,
19 yards for Chris isn't good enough, and he did some really good stuff. Need a lot more from him. He's got all the talent in the world. Really excited for him to have a good week so we can continue to get more from him. I'm proud of how he's prepped and how he's been able to get himself to this point, and we got to find ways to get our playmakers the ball. But it's a holistic part of it, right? There's protection, there's the throw, there's a lot of things that go into this, and we're looking at it as an offense to make sure that we can get our playmakers the ball, and then our playmakers got to get open. There's a lot of plays on film. Our guys are absolutely locked up. There is nowhere to go with the ball. So people can yell at Maddox all they want. Now, there's some times they're open and we don't get it to them. Absolutely. But there's a lot of plays where our guys are absolutely locked up. we got to get open. We got to win a man coverage too. So our receivers got to continue to step up and be able to do that, and then we got to make sure we protect Maddox, and Maddox has to make sure he puts the ball in the right spot.
I mean, when you're trying to find positives with the players, I mean, I think you got across the 58 times and just had some critical, like, 3rd and 4th downs you couldn't make. But, I mean, without the fumbles and some of the drops, I mean, do you feel like it was – I mean, I know it was 34-7, but do you feel like offensively you were pretty close to doing a lot more than you did? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the exact stats on me, BJ, but I think we were close to even leading in total yards, right? But I think that's where, honestly, stuff comes in. I think stats are for losers in there, right? Because I can look at that a little bit and look – and that to me, looking at that runs from the truth, where we got beat 34-7 and we play with a lack of effort and a lack of mentality. We have to get that fixed. We have more than enough here. No different than the question about travel. Our travel was elite. Like, I appreciate our administration. There was no holds barred for we had everything we needed to play that game. Personnel, all of it. We have to execute, and we got to play with effort and mentality. We have the right schemes. We have the right coaches, and we got to make sure that our guys go out there and execute consistently. And go ahead, Barry.
Where do you think Maddox struggled and why?
Yeah. I mean, Maddox is a relentless competitor, man. Like, 'cause there are some football things that we need to get cleaned up. Maddox, it's never going to be a lack of effort and mentality and want to win. There were some times, though, I mean, once again, as a quarterback, the pressure that's on him, and they were bringing some things, and we were losing some protection early on in the game that got him out of the pocket. There's some other times in the game where he left the pocket too soon and should have stayed in the pocket and delivered the ball because our guys were getting open. But the thing about Maddox, there's no one that wants to get it fixed more than him. I'm not concerned about Maddox learning and growing from this team because he's an elite competitor. I'm concerned about maybe some guys in our team that are pointing the finger. I haven't seen it, but I'm crazy to think when you get beat 34-7, we have 109 guys on our team, there's not a group of guys that are thinking it's someone else's fault. That's what I'm working to get fixed.
Even though Brown was able to break free for 2 touchdowns, your defense still got to him 4 times. Kind of a mixed bag there. Does that give you a glimmer of something that you can work with?
I'm really proud of our defensive front. I mean, we went into that game knowing we had to stop the run, and they did a great job. I mean, Braxton Feely, unblockable all night. David Latu did a great job. Our 2 edge players, Jaden Verge-Morgan, Matt. I mean, I'm really proud of how our defensive front played. So that is a promise from the game.
I was going to ask you about that because maybe one of the bigger questions, Marks, was the interior of that D-line and some of the depth.
Agreed.
But maybe more specifically, Brax, I heard kind of about, his humility coming back, that he went to the back of the room, like literally, and had to earn his way back to the front of the room. What did you just think about the way that he played last night and his role as a leader on this team?
Brax has earned every bit of what he's getting right now. And not only his humility when he came back with his team, he's earned the right to continually work himself back in to be a leader on this team, and he is absolutely one of our best players, and he played like it. He played like it. There's some guys on our team that I think are our best players that weren't. So if you're one of our best players, you have to be our best all the time. Braxton Feely played like the guy we knew he could be every single snap he was in there, and honestly, absolutely unblockable on Thursday night. And he gave everything for his team. So proud of Braxton, and that's who he is, and he's earned the right to be a huge leader in this team, and our players see that too. And so when Braxton speaks, they listen because they not only see how he practices, they see how he plays when the lights turn on. And it's at a very, very high level.
With the tackling issues, I mean, was that more technique-wise, or you mentioned the clip where a couple guys were like jogging after the guy with the ball, but I mean, effort
is 99.9% of it, BJ, right? If I'm jogging after a ball carrier, I don't care what tackling drills you're doing in practice, it ain't going to go good, right? So we got to fix the effort and the mentality. Overall, early on in the game, outside of tackling the quarterback, our guys tackled pretty well. When it got to the quarterback, our guys just lost it. Tackled high, which we got to get that fixed. We will fix the effort, and the tackling will improve. And no, let's not get to it. We tackled live today in practice to get some things fixed, and we need to. We have to fix the effort and the mentality. When you have the intent to take a guy to the ground, that starts with getting to him. And if you can't get to him, you're going to be a fly on the windshield, which is what we looked like on Thursday night.
Derek Ganter Jr. comes in from Eastern Washington. You guys picking his brain this week at all, trying to get information from him just to get a little bit deeper into this team?
Yeah, we talk with him a little bit. I mean, I'm always – we use the film. You know, we picked his brain a little bit on maybe some guys that he likes and some things that maybe they'll do for us. But I got a lot of respect for Eastern Washington. I mean, we talked this morning about Eastern as a team. I mean, you look at the amount of FBS teams they've beaten in the past decade. I mean, there's 6 or 7 of them, right? From Wazoo to almost beat UW to Oregon State. I mean, going down the list. And so, I mean, we've got a lot of respect for them and their program. And we know we're going to get their best. I mean, you see what happened to Kansas State, North Dakota. I mean, it comes down. I mean, that's just there is not, I think sometimes people see that there's this complete skewed view of talent. It's not. They're going to have a really good, talented team. They're going to play extremely hard. They're very well coached. And yes, we'll pick Derek's brain a little bit, but we're going to watch the film. And this week for me, like I said, regardless of who we play, we are going to play with effort and we're going to play a high-level mentality. That is what I care about. I do not care about the score because the score will take care of itself if there are 11 dudes in the field doing that.
What impressed you most about Eastern Washington against Incarnate Word?
Yeah. Incarnate Word is one of the best FCS teams in the country, right? And they had them, I mean, it's a one-score game all the way till late. Incarnate Word scores to go up 10. But they're on the road in Texas playing their tails off. And there was a couple plays in that game that, I mean, it should have honestly gone Eastern's way to win that game on the road. So, I mean, they're going to be one of the better FCS teams. I believe that. And just, they never quit. They continue to battle. Some things went sideways for them, turnovers or this, and they battled. I mean, they're well coached. I know a lot of their coaches, got a lot of respect for a lot of their coaches, know them well. And I know those guys are going to be coached, and they're going to come in here ready to beat us. And they have every right to come into here and beat us. We have every right to beat them. And that's really the reality of the rest of our schedule. Everybody that plays us can beat us, and we can beat everyone on our schedule too. It's all about how we continue to learn and grow with it. But they've got they're going to be really well trained up front. I mean, their head coach has done a great job with that offensive line and training for a long time, Coach Best. They're going to give you a lot of different formations on offense to put you in conflict. Their quarterback can run all over you if he wants to, right? Not the same runner as Brown. He's a little bit smaller, but he's twitchy. He can get out, and they do a lot of quarterback design run game. Defensively, they give you a lot of different front structures. They give you a lot of different coverage adjustments, and they're really sound. So we got to do a great job with communication, the pre-snap, and at the end of the day, we got to play harder.
Aaron Best has been a part of that program, either as a player or a coach, since I think all but 1 year since '96.
Yeah.
What does that do for a culture of a program?
Yeah, there's consistency, and you can see that where who they recruit, and they know who they are, right? They've had some offensive coordinators or different defensive coordinators leave to get, other jobs or what have you. They've had a lot of consistency because of Coach Best being there, right? And that level of consistency adds in recruiting, adds in making sure that the mentality and the culture stays there, which shows up. I mean, when you go on the road to play one of the top FCS teams in Incarnate Word, those guys battle their tails off. They can be very proud of their team, and hats off to Coach Best.
Coach, you guys are all about routine, and now maybe for the first time forever, you guys are switching sidelines. Logistically, is there anything there for you guys?
I don't think so, Mike. I mean, we got bigger issues right now. You know what I mean? Just being honest with you. Our guys are going to line up on whatever sideline they tell us. If they switch at game time, we're going to switch at game time. If they tell us we're wearing practice jerseys, we're going to wear freaking practice jerseys. Well, we're going to play hard.
Is there any other injury updates just as far as timelines for some guys this week?
No, right now, I mean, we talked about Hall Schmidt. He's rolling this week. Right now, no. I mean, right now we feel pretty good about the health of our team, and there's a couple guys that banged up from the game, but should be ready to roll.
Won 12 straight at home. It's one of the longest winning streaks at home in the country. How have you just seen the game day atmosphere continue to evolve since you first stepped on campus?
Yeah. I mean, even from 2017, my first game, we played Troy on the Blue, and it was awesome. I think it was sold out. But the game day, and me and Jeremiah have talked about this, it is an event now. I mean, even as a coach, you take the field, the light. I mean, first off, Bronco Nation sold out. That's a non-negotiable. I mean, there are so many coaches I talk to in the country that a huge point of emphasis is hoping fans can come to the game. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of a fan base that loves their team, and they pack out Albertson Stadium. 7 games last year, 7 sellouts. I mean, no different this year. I believe that. That is uncommon, and I never want to take that for granted. But then you add the lights, you add the scoreboards, you add the event. I mean, it is an event you don't want to miss. You can't get that event watching on TV. You have to be on the Blue, and that's second to none. We played everywhere, and since I've been, I feel like we played everywhere. There ain't nowhere like the blue.
Just with Breezy, real quick. Obviously, he was out the last game. Where's he standing right now?
He didn't practice today. We'll see where he's at. I don't see him being ready to roll this week. If he is, that'd be a bonus, but I don't see him being ready to roll this week.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Part of last Thursday for you?
I think the main thing was just the mentality wasn't there for us offensively, and that's something that's a non-negotiable that we got to have every time we play. So that's the most disappointing thing, but also there's a solution there, and that's what we're working on right now.
You guys wanted the run game to be part of, still your identity. What do you think the issues were there?
It starts with me. I don't think the plan was good enough to establish the run and be efficient in the run game, and that's completely my responsibility and on me to do a better job with that. But at the end of the day, that's who we are. We got to be able to run the football efficiently, no matter what we're seeing, what we're getting. We got to do it. That's what makes the offense go, and that starts to me.
You had three guys get a carry on the first drive, and then you had two guys kind of have each pretty equal carries. Is that still the plan, or when you're looking at it, is the guy like Sire maybe need to start getting more of the carries here, or?
I think, yeah, that will evolve based on obviously production, what we're seeing in the game at practice. I think a big part of that too is getting into game shape. I think Cy has had a phenomenal couple days right now where he is getting that feel back. A lot of that's the confidence from a couple of those good plays that we had last game. So I think that's going to evolve based on production and then based on health and being in shape.
Spencer said Hall Schmidt's going to be ready to go this week. How much, will his presence help that offensive line?
I think it just adds competition. And when you feel that competition, that's going to push the next guy to get better and improve. So that's what you want in every position group. And I think that's what we got right now with Hall being back, practicing, and doing what he's doing. It's going to add competition at the right tackle spot to make both guys better.
What do you think of the O-line overall?
I think they fell under every position group with the offense where there wasn't a mentality piece. There wasn't the finish to the standard that we expect in this program. And O-line, tight ends, running back, everybody was involved in that.
Kind of a rhetorical question, Nate, but I mean, you played here. Like, that's kind of always what's fueled chip on your shoulder, blue collar. Like, how much does that have to be a part of the ingredient for you guys to do what you're capable of doing?
Yeah, I mean, that's the key ingredient. That's who we are, and that's not going to change. Now, obviously, it's my responsibility to make sure that happens, and I didn't do that, but we're getting it fixed.
Now that you've seen the game film, what's the biggest emphasis of improvement for this week?
Efficiency on first down. Got to be able to run the football. Have to.
I know it's a situation, whatever, but I mean, you guys didn't attempt a ton of downfield passes again in this game. You had 2 completions of over 20 yards, and I don't know what you were looking for, but was that Spencer said a lot of the receivers weren't getting open at times. What did you see from the downfield passing?
Well, a lot of the downfield passes are set up by being able to run the football. So if you can't run the football, then those aren't going to be explosive and efficient for you. I do feel like we were trying to give those guys a chance. But at the end of the day, it starts by establishing the run to give those shot plays an opportunity to be successful. And if you can't do that, then you're not going to have success.
What about Chris Marshall, Nate? Effective early, was it something they were doing to take him out of the game? What was the assessment there?
No, I don't think there was something they were doing to take him out of the game. I do think he made a few plays like we expected. He had the touchdown, which was good to see. But just like everybody else on the offense, it's being consistent play in and play out, right? You got to be that difference maker every play, no matter if you're Chris or if you're the left guard or if you're Matt Lauder, right? It's got to be consistent every play.
I didn't see, I mean, the times we were at practice, I didn't see a lot of fumbles. I mean, was fumbles at all an issue during camp? Or?
No, but that's first game, right? That's something that we talked about as a team. What are the kind of the key factors in every first game, and turnovers is one of them. But that's on my shoulders. We did not take care of the football, and so that's a lack of intensity and urgency when we're repping it, when we're practicing it. So that's something that is changing.
How much did Ben Ford embrace his opportunity?
I mean, every bit of it, every bit of it. He did a great job. He did a great job, and I think, to your point, he's a good example of what we need the full group to be every play. That blue-collar mentality, that finish, that effort. I thought Ben did a great job with it.
How long, I mean, maybe it's a question better for him, but how long did he wait for that moment? He had as many catches in 3 hours as he did in his 4 years prior at Boise State.
Yeah, I think, to your point, I mean, he waited a long time, but he took advantage of his opportunity. And he was ready for it because of how he prepared, how he's been practicing, the effort he puts in every day. So great example, great example.
4 straight drives in the second half where you guys didn't get it on fourth down. Obviously, as you go later in the game, you have to go for those. But what did you see on those? What do you guys have to do different on the fourth down attempts?
Yeah, a big part of that's just the execution piece, the detail of the play. Some of that is play calls and tendencies and the looks that we got, which is, again, on me. But at the end of the day, it's the details within the play, as far as maybe it's route depth, maybe it's accuracy, maybe it's protection piece. There's a lot of details that we missed on a lot of those fourth downs.
Is it at all, I mean, silver lining at all better than maybe it looked, just with, you got across the 58 times, and if you take out, the fumbles and stuff, I mean, if you, some of the key plays, I mean, were you at all was it close to being a lot different? Or?
Yeah, I mean, that's the way football works. There's those key moments in the game that really tell you the big difference, right? And for us, it was getting in the red zone but turning the ball over. Those are critical moments that we have to be able to overcome, though, because that's going to happen again. That's going to happen in football. You got to be able to respond. But I think, again, the main message that needs to happen is the mentality, and then that's going to transfer over to the run game. We have to be able to run the football, be efficient on mixed downs and first down. Have to.
Nate, you've seen, played, coached a lot of football. Why do you think the mentality wasn't there? You've probably experienced before when it wasn't there. Did this relate at all to that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, I think there's a lot of factors that can play into that, to be honest with you. It'd be hard to pinpoint one, but, when you're not playing free or playing without fear, you get tense. When you get tense, that tends to happen. So that's something that we're all thinking about. How do we cut it loose, play free, and play without any fear or hesitation? Because when we're doing that, obviously good things happen.
When it comes to Maddox, want to, desire, obviously hard to question any of that with him, but how do you feel like he played against South Florida?
Man, the toughness he showed, his ability to extend plays with his feet was phenomenal. I think there was some uncharacteristic missed throws that he would tell you straight up right now that he normally makes. But again, I think that's fixable. There's a solution to that we're in the process of right now. And he's the type of guy that's going to get it fixed. That's who he is. But his toughness is, you can't question that. And then you saw his ability to extend plays, which is great. That adds a dynamic.
Just 12 play action pass attempts in that game, way down from what we saw last year where Maddox was really good. Is that something that you want to see a little bit more of going forwards because he does so well there, or is part of the game plan?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, we have to do more of that. But the play action comes off of the run. So if you can't run the ball, then the play action is not as great, right? And again, that starts with me and our ability to run the football. But it has to be higher, to your point, because that's who we are offensively.
How excited are you for another practice on Friday, Nate?
Can't wait. Can't wait. On the blue, there's no better place in the world.
What are you seeing from their defense?
Coach Sanders does a phenomenal job. He's really experienced as a defensive coordinator at every level. I think they do a great job causing confusion with what they do in their schematics, with their fronts, with their movements. They have some experience mixed in with good talent that they brought in. So it's all about us playing to our standard, playing fast. But they do a great job. That's strong tradition in that program.
You mentioned Sire kind of working his way back into game shape and stuff. I mean, how do you think he looked?
Oh, you guys saw it too. There was times where he was breaking tackles, he was bursting, he looked great. He looked great. And then today out at practice, it just keeps building. He's taking that step each day. I think he's feeling it. So I'm excited to see him this week.
How different are he and Malik as runners, and how part of is that seeing kind of what guy, maybe in practice you don't see some things that you see in a game with some, how do you kind of weigh are you looking at different packages or plays that work better for a certain guy? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got to play to their strengths. Sai, obviously you guys see his strengths. It's his body type, it's his physicality. That's one of his main strengths. So more importantly than anybody else, has got to play to that. I got to put him in position to use their superpowers. And for Sai, that's his physicality. That's his toughness, his size.
All right, thanks, Nate.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
keep it good.
Coach, Spencer was talking a lot about just the effort needed, and it seemed like on defense, that may have been one of the areas he's kind of pointing to some of the.
Yeah, I think early in the game, a lot of things were going our way. Effort was really good, and then as things went on, some adversity struck, and we found a few guys that need to move in the right direction in that category. So a lot of focus today in practice went to effort to the football, maximum effort for as many plays as we can get. But there was definitely a few times out there where guys were not running full speed to the football, and we need to find out. When things go our way, it's easy. When things don't go your way, life gets a little more challenging. And we need to find out, which guys are all in. And not to say that there's any that we're pushing to the side, but we need to help those guys get to the standard that Boise State has had for a long time. And all that falls directly on me as the defensive coordinator. So those are things that I need to get corrected this week.
I know at least one of the plays kind of went viral with Devon kind of, maybe not hustling full speed after the ball, but I mean, how Coach said there was other plays too. I mean, how surprising is that, I guess, in a week one to have to deal with that or talk about that?
I think in week one is usually, it's not surprising. You would like it to not be that way, but week one is where you go from camp and practice to actually competing in the game. And there's some guys that haven't played a ton of football, at Boise State, or a ton of football in a game setting. And sometimes it's the person, sometimes it's the stage, sometimes it's the first game, but things reveal themselves quickly when the bright lights turn on, and it's our job as coaches to get those things corrected and get those guys moving in the right direction.
You said a few reasons why effort might not be there, but just the collective, I guess. Why do you think the effort wasn't where it needed to be?
I think, once again, there's a lot of guys out there playing really, really hard. There's a good chunk of the game where their effort was great. But, you kind of saw where it happened, right? You saw where a little adversity struck us. And, we all want to do our job to the best of our ability, and especially when everybody's telling you how great you are and things are going good and the fans are cheering and people are liking on Twitter and those kind of things, right? And then when things get challenging, sometimes it's up to the coaches, sometimes it's up to the leaders on the team to get those people, that aren't used to that or need to get through that. Everybody needs to get picked up a little bit now and then, but we need to get those guys going in the right direction. And, like you said, there's probably a clip that went viral. That wasn't the only guy. And there's other times when those people made great plays. So it's not like, hey, we're done with the person, or, let's not cast a blame on one person. Let's put a net on the effort for the Boise State football team, for the Boise State defense needs to get better. And once again, like I said, that's my job. It's on me.
Some of the recent nickels that have played here, and whether two's played it at one point, obviously Shea, Rod, Kekal, Canito, all these guys have a little bit of an edge to them, I guess. There's some intangibles to them. What makes a good? What does that position require, I guess, to bring out the best?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, Jay. I think at that position, there's a lot of different skill sets, and then we have to figure out what's the best skill set for that person. And not that we're going to change the whole defense because of one person, but there's tools in our toolbox that we can use more. And all those guys that you mentioned had a little different toolbox. But the one thing they all had in common is they all played with extremely, extremely high effort. They were great team guys. They threw their bodies around. They were great practice players. But what are you, a coverage guy? Are you a man guy? Are you a zone guy? Are you a blitzer? Are you a run fit guy? Are you a guy that needs to get out of there and get somebody else in the run fit? So there's a lot of different things that go into the nickel, and that's kind of our job. We figure out what they can do the best, and then how do we kind of tailor the plan around them.
So this is a super versatile position or whatever that can be a number of different things for you.
Super versatile position.
How bad does your defense also need that? I mean, Shea led the freaking country in sacks for a DB last year, right? So how bad does your defense kind of need that?
Yeah, I think, year to year, you can showcase different pieces, but when you have a great nickel, it makes life a lot easier. And I think we got great ones. we just got to get it out of them.
You had or on the depth chart for Mickey or Banks, and I think Mickey only got one snap. Was that battle just not that close during camp, or how do you kind of look at that?
No, it was, and Jaden Mickey's earned the right to play football. We need to play him some more. It just, as the game went on, it was bang bang at the beginning. It was going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and sometimes you don't want to upset the apple cart, but on the other hand, sometimes you need to stick with the plan and just rotate that thing. So Jaden Mickey's earned the right to play football, and he needs to play more football for Boise State.
Tackling had been a point of emphasis for you guys during the fall camp. From what you saw on Thursday, do you still have a ways to go on that?
Oh, absolutely. We got a ways to go. The good news is we tackled well on the ball carriers on the perimeter in the box, and then you guys all watched the game. We did not tackle well when the quarterback took off. And some of the things that happened team-wide was when those balls went to the perimeter to receivers in the box, we were targeting low, we were wrapping up, we were grabbing a body part. When the quarterback got loose, he's a big, fast guy. We all know that. There was a lot of targeting high and reaching instead of putting our body on those people, wrapping them up and driving our legs. So we've got to constantly keep working that in practice, and we've got to find some ways to get live tackles. It's not fun. It's not, what people standard practice in the middle of the season to get a bunch more live tackles, but we've got to find some way to get some live shots because we still do have a ways to go in the tackling.
How good did Braxton Feely play on Thursday?
Yeah, I'd have to look back, which is weird because I know I've been with him, but he may have played one of his better games. Just snap to production value. He was physically dominant. To be honest with you, I thought the whole front was pretty physical out there. But Braxton played a really, really good football game.
The kind of the front, especially some depth. It was kind of a big question mark for your defense. But for game one, how do you think that? Latu. Some of those guys seem to play pretty well for you.
Yeah, I think there's some definite bright spots, some guys we need to improve yet, but they got in there, they operated, they showed that they belong. So the future's bright with those younger guys, and then also the immediate's bright too, because I really feel like we have a really good front. I feel like we can be physical, we can operate out there, we can get some production, and I think those guys are still going to get better and better as the year goes on.
We talked about limiting the explosive passing plays, and they had 2 big ones there, and I think they had, to count one of those runs, almost 40% of their yards on 3 plays. How frustrating is that, I guess? Because you did, in some part, a good chunk of the game, did pretty good limiting their offense. Yeah, very frustrating. Once again, the explosive pass plays, not for 1 second a lack of talent or ability, because we have really talented players. We have really good people in this building. They could cover those guys. There was a lack of communication on both explosive plays, and once again, that falls on me. If there's something that is not understood or maybe it's been gone over, but they don't completely understand it, or it's been missed a couple times, that's on me. Okay, and so there's 2 explosive pass plays out there with lack of communication, not for lack of talent or effort on those, and those are on me.
Those 4 sacks that you had are roughly the pace you guys had last year. So when you look for things on the defense to improve, where's that a good starting spot to build around?
Yeah, I think that's a good starting spot. The thing that was good about those sacks was a lot of the sacks last year were generated off pressure, and a lot of the getting to the quarterback on Thursday night were just 4-man rushes. We may have had an add-in from a linebacker or something. We had the first one was a definite pressure, but it's nice to see us being able to get to the quarterback with 4 guys. So I think that the pass rush is healthy. I think those guys really understand how to rush the quarterback, and for the most part, we understand how to cage the quarterback. And obviously, you guys were all there. The one time we did not cage the quarterback, it was very dramatic for our defense. So that's got to improve a little bit. We've just got to understand where we fit in the puzzle when we're either running line games and/or pressures.
Kind of seems like a silly question, especially maybe about a fifth-year senior, but I know you want your guys out there to be confident and do whatever it takes for them to be confident, but what is the limit in terms of talking and picking up personal fouls that hurt your team, and I guess what are the consequences for that potentially?
Yeah, post-whistle penalties, You know, there's going to be penalties in the game. There's going to be a PI. There's going to be a, you know, whatever within the course of the game. Post-whistle penalties cannot happen and will not be acceptable. And from here on out, it will just be emotionless. If you have a post-whistle penalty, you will come out of the football game. Not to say that you're going to be done for the game, but you're going to come out, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to evaluate where you're at with your headspace, and then we can get you back in the football game. But those kind of penalties hurt the football team. They hurt that person individually. They have a huge impact. So there can't be emotion in that. Can't be like, oh, well, you know, I really like so on and so forth. So it doesn't matter who it is. If it's our captain, if it's Marco, he's got to come out of the football game. So that will be the standard moving forward.
On the one with Banks, you know, Spencer said he shouldn't have played the next play, that he should have come out after his. But how hard is that when you're in the heat of the moment about to sack the guy and then the whistle blows? I mean, is that harder than maybe it looks to the fan when you keep taking the guy to the ground like that? Or
Yeah, it's hard, but we have to understand as defensive players, there's one guy that's going to be protected, like he's off limits. And that whistle starts blowing, you just got to let go, okay? The hard part on that one was, like, I'm up in the box, I can't hear the whistle. And looking at it, it was a scrum. I don't know who gets called on that penalty. So that's a hard one to kind of make an immediate judgment. Now, the ref probably comes over the sideline and announces a number, but we don't really, it's hard to tell up in the box who had that one. But once again, it's not human nature to let go of the quarterback once you got him, but when the whistle blows, you have to. That's the rules.
How do you see Derek Ganter approaching this game, and obviously facing his old team, and what do you see from him in the snaps he got on Thursday? Yeah,
Derek's going to be a really good football player. You know, I think that he probably has some knowledge, and he probably doesn't know exactly scheme-wise what they're going to do. He's seen some of the things that they've done in the spring, but he doesn't know exactly what they're going to do. But he has definite personnel knowledge, and I think that he will be able to know, you know, who's good matchups and who's not. But he's an interesting guy to talk to because he's been there for a year or however long he was there. But that's a good guy to talk to throughout the week just to kind of get a feel for it. And Derek is he's gonna grow into a really good football player. He's just got to learn, you know, the way that we practice all the time. And once he does that, I think the sky's the limit for him as well.
I think he got one snap too. Is he ready for more snaps like you mentioned with Mickey or not yet?
I think they're in a different place, to be honest with you, BJ. Not talent-wise, but I think Jaden right now is a little bit more mature. He shows in practice that he understands and he can operate out there. Derek's doing a good job. He's coming along. I want to see how he operates this week with another game week. In last week, you know, Jaden's been through, you know, he's at Notre Dame. He knows how to practice in those game weeks. Derek's kind of coming to us fresh, so that was kind of his first run through on a game week practice. I kind of want to see how he operates this week, and if he can show us that he's continuing on that path, then he will earn the right to play some more football as well.
How do you guys respond in practice? I mean, Spencer was pretty fired up and talking about just non-negotiable with the effort and a lot of that. And like you said, you won't play if things happen. I mean, there's a fine line, I guess, to overdoing it too. I mean, how have you noticed the guys respond to kind of the up in intensity, I guess, from you guys?
Yeah, I think, you know, like when you sit back and look at it from 10,000 feet, right? Like we're talking about plays that go viral because of an effort issue or something like that. And like, I don't look at Twitter because it's not good for my health, right? Like, that's just, it's not going to do me any good. But these guys do, right? These guys do, and they get enough of it. So, like, just as I think Jay, or maybe as you, BJ, mentioned it, like, we're showing it the other day, right? Like, we had 24 run plays for 17 yards and then 4 for 90. You know, so the guys understand there's 20 pass plays for 57 yards and then 4 for 153. Those guys understand, I think now, like, here's who you could be, but you've also shown we might be these people. Time to make a choice, right? And I think they made that choice today. So I was fired up as well. We went out there. You know, we said we're going to run to the ball, and we held the whistle pretty late. So we were getting guys flying to the rock. Not to say practice was perfect, because it never is, but we got a lot of guys running to the football, and we had a lot of the leaders stepping up, telling guys it's mandatory to run to the football if you want to be on the field with us. So that was very encouraging for us, because the bottom line is, like, nobody wanted what happened on Thursday night. Like, nobody. Not me, not our head coach, not the players, but everything we want still in front of us. And so there's a lot to grow in. There's a lot for these guys at the end of the yellow brick road here.
Full speed tackling, Chins in practice today, was that your suggestion to Spencer? Did Spencer come on and was it more of an effort thing you were saying, the lack of tackling, but was there fundamentally just missed tackles too?
No, I think that, you know, Coach D, he's got to be the head coach, so he's got to make a few more rational decisions. Fall camp, I'm like, let's tackle every period, every time, because it's weird, right? Because, like, if you're playing quarterback, right, and you never get to throw the ball once in practice, like, you're probably not going to be very good. Then you got to play defense, and you never get to tackle one time in practice. So to me, it's like, let's tackle all the time, but the head coach has to make decisions. We have to keep people healthy, right? He has to keep me in check, and I'm glad he's there to do that, because I would just be like, let's smash everybody every day. So today we all sat in the staff meeting, and we decided we needed some of those full-speed tackles. We're going to need some full-speed. They don't always have to be the space tackles today, but we're going to need some of those full-speed tackles, and we can get a lot of work where we can say, hey, you know, Ty Benefield, you're getting one shot versus X player. You know, Jeremiah Irby, you're getting one shot. So we get everybody a full-speed tackle, but we don't overdo it and get people hurt.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Appreciate you guys.